Our upside down leader.
That's true.
Better.
Okay. So how's everybody doing on a cold, wet, rainy night?
Happy to be indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I kind of like this, to be honest with you. I just wish I still had a hot tub, and it'd be a really good night.
Yeah.
Always good to have a hot tub, right? Everybody here? Just us three.
It looks like we have five,
I guess I need that.
six. No, everybody's here. There's six of you guys.
Oh, there you are.
We're missing Kevin is all.
Okay. Okay, somebody else is gonna have to do the, do all the amendments and everything, because he always wants to. Who wants to be the emotion person? Mark, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah? I see we have a group with all the people from the for tonight's issue from the senior center. So are we gonna wait on him, or are you guys ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. If Kevin joins up, then we're happy to let him in. Okay, good evening, everybody. We're gonna call to order tonight's meeting of the Fortuna Planning Commission. So please be advised, the meeting is being held in accordance with the Brown Act as required with the emergency declaration COVID-19 governor's order from March 17, 2020. And the fact that if anybody out there watching tonight wants to be part of tonight's meeting, that Katie will be flashing the email address, phone number, and the whole bit to be able to be a participant in tonight's meeting. So tonight we're going to start off with the flag salute. I'm going to do the flag salute. We're not standing tonight. Katie's going to flash the flag. Again, if you've been part of these meetings, there's no disrespect involved with what's going on. It's the fact that it's the times we're in at the moment. And when we get back to real life, we'll be doing it in real life again, and everybody will stand at attention and do this. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Katie, can I get a roll call for tonight, please?
Call. Commissioner Blakely,
Here.
Commissioner Bradley has not popped in. Commissioner Church,
Here.
Commissioner Hallie. Here. Chairman Mobley,
Here.
Vice Chair Rogers,
Here.
and Commissioner Seitz.
Here.
All right. Thank you, everybody. So we need to get approval for the March 23rd meeting. The minutes from the March 23rd meeting.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the March 23rd meeting as printed.
And I second.
That would be February 23rd.
All right.
Yes, I'm sorry, February 23rd. You're right.
February 23rd.
I second.
All right, roll call vote. Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Church,
Yes.
Commissioner Hallie.
My glasses.
Yes. Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Rogers,
Yes.
and Commissioner Seitz.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all. So we're going to go to oral comment from the public. Members of the public may be heard on any item of interest not on the agenda. Speakers addressing the commission will be held to a 3-minute. We'll play with that one if you call in. But please be advised, by law, the commission is not able to deliberate or take action on any issue presented during oral comment. So if anybody's out there wants to call in about anything that's not on the agenda tonight, please call in, talk to us. We'll be happy to hear from you. And there's the number and passcode to get in. How's everybody's week been so far? Anything good going on, bad going on?
Normal.
Normal wet week, huh? Nothing spectacular. No big plans for anybody yet? We're setting up for next month to go to Vegas, and we're hoping it's all wide open for we can go for our anniversary. So
Oh, you guys are brave.
we're gonna take a shot, and I'm hoping it's gonna be ready to rock and roll. Her son just went for a bachelor party, and he said it was very restrictive while they were there.
Okay.
So he said while he was playing cards, they were very much on him about taking a drink from his free drink and putting his mask right back on as fast as he can. So I'm hoping it's not that quite that bad when we get there. All right, Katie, we seeing anything, hearing anything? You're not talking. I see a shake of the head. Okay, looking for a motion to close public comment.
I move that we close public comment.
I second that.
All right, Katie, you're muted.
We don't technically need to do roll call vote or a motion to close it, but since we had a motion, I'm going to do the roll call vote. Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Church,
Yes.
Commissioner Hallie,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Rogers,
Yes.
and Commissioner Seitz.
Yes.
All right, thanks, everybody. All right, so business at hand tonight. is a concept design review of the building that is being proposed of a 7,700 square foot pre-engineered metal building for the senior center. I know we've gone over this. This is over on Gullickson Drive that we've all talked about once. And now they have come to us with a pre-design to see what we think about it. And I guess we're going to need to get a little background on it again. So Liz, you up for that?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman Mobley and members of the Planning Commission. So yeah, you did, the Planning Commission did approve a conditional use permit on November 24th, 2020. And that's for basically the use of the site, the activity itself, and the layout, the parking lot, and just the general layout. And one of the conditions is that it return for design review. And they did choose to do conceptual design review, which I think is, a good thing. It allows early discussion and for them to get a sense, and also allows the Planning Commission to make any comments, good or bad, suggestions. You won't be approving it at this meeting. The applicant will return with the final design review. So at this point, they filled out an application form, but no fees have been paid. This free service. It is also stipulated as an option in the Fortuna Municipal Code, and I'll just read what it states: that the purpose of conceptual design review is to provide the applicant with the Planning Commission's tentative reaction to the general design concept of a proposed project. Such review shall not include a formal decision on the application by the Planning Commission. So I'm going to just go over the submittal, the design, the building elevations pretty quickly, and I'm going to turn it over to the applicant. We do have, so the applicant being the senior center representatives, and then we also have the project engineer or designer, Nicholas Nothoff from Whitchurch Engineering, and we also have the Fortuna building official here. He will be, I think his input is useful. He will be, reviewing and approving the building plans. And he also has a really good sense about design and feasibility and metal buildings and things like that. So I'm just going to share the screen. And run through these really quickly. So this is the project location. It is located at the southeast corner of Ronerville Road and Gullickson Drive. And you did, you're familiar with this from the use permit application. And the zoning map, basically, I think it's helpful in this regard because it does show you what the neighboring and the surrounding zoning on that side of Ronerville Road is commercial thoroughfare. And then low density residential to the east. And then on the opposite side of Ronerville Road, there's really a combination. There's multifamily along the frontage. The school is right across the street. And then further out, it's largely, the land use is largely single family residential. So that's kind of what the neighborhood that we're working in. The site plan shows the building kind of set back, parking lot in the front. There's two driveway entrances, one in Gullickson and one at the south corner that will be at that shared driveway that was approved. And there will be landscaping and then parking, but the landscaping plan has not been submitted yet. So this is basically these are the elevations. And so this is a metal building. And you can see that the design, there will be vertical siding, and then in the gable areas, there will be shingles, and then wainscoting along the sides, all the sides, and then the series of windows The top view is the main entrance, and it's covered, like a porch cover. It's got the larger doors, and so this is the side facing Ronerville Road. And then this is the south side here with another entrance. And you can see the porch overhang, porch covering, and the posts here. And then this is the east side, which won't be visible except from the neighboring, the cul-de-sac maybe, to the east. And then this is the north facing, which would be facing Gullickson. And you can see there's another door there and the covered walkway or entrance. And then there, you can see on all the views, there's a cupola. And we've got shutters around the windows. So it's kind of a, you know, it has a nice, nice, you know, feel. It's a nice, you know, it's a large building. It has a lot of features. It's got a strong presence, but it also, I think, fits in with the surrounding area, both in terms of kind of incorporating things that are compatible with residential buildings, and also kind of the historic feel of Ronerville. I have got some pictures that it will show that, I think, at the end. And this is just a close-up of the west-facing building, the west-facing elevation. And then the applicant submitted some photographs of similar buildings. And the notes up here: building, roof, gutter, shutter, color scheme with rooftop feature, veneer not included. So I think when they get up, maybe they can kind of identify, I think in this case, probably the roof line, the cupolas, the posts. There's the shuttered windows, the vertical siding. So there are a lot of similar features here. So this gives you a kind of an idea of the feel of the building. Same situation here. Two-tone vertical bat siding and hardy proposed. This is the entrance. I think this is not the existing senior center, but it's a similar style. Covered entry style. So this represents the idea for the covered entry. And this demonstrates the gable end with the shingles on the siding. So I just took the street view, and showed, these are barns that are on Ronerville Road with, and I think, you know, the design kind of has a barn feel. It's kind of a combination of a barn feel. And these are, so this is at Loop Road, and this is the Leonardo equipment yard. And then going down, this is the blue building is at the Went site. Now it's the Went site. It used to be Redwood Roofing. Before that, it was Haberstock construction yard. And then moving north, this is right behind the tow yard. And then, this is on the opposite side. So there are, you know, I think it's really nice. It's kind of maintains, you know, it retains the tone, the rural feel of Ronerville Road. And I think the proposed building contributes to that feel. So I think it's a good compatible design. And then they did include, just as an example, the types of colors that go with that particular, the company that I think that offers that building that they're planning on buying it from. So that's a pretty brief presentation, and maybe the applicant or agent would like to add to that or explain their, you know, the intent or the concept a little bit better than I did. So Joan, did any of you want to turn on your mic or otherwise participate? Joan, did you have anything to say?
Your mic is still up. There
Now
you
can
are.
you hear?
We can hear you now. Nope, you turned it back off. Hit it one more time.
What? You can't go out.
She's having some technical. So hit the microphone button, Joan.
You have to wait.
There you are.
Okay, got it.
We're on?
You're
Okay.
on. Good job.
Don't know what I did, but I guess it's glad that it was working. Well, we brought posters showing the concept. The colors on here are not exactly as they will be because the program that Which Church uses wasn't able to actually put in the cream color for the building. But we're proposing a pearl gray roof. Actually, it's so the big white places on the roof are where the solar panels will go. Because of our square footage, we're required to have that many solar panels. So we're going to do a kind of a royal blue along the edges of the roof and also along the bottom of the windows. And then a more brighter red. And I brought this picture. You can see it's just a door, but it gives kind of the effect of the white trim around it. And so we're working on the colors. We're working on the landscaping. Basically, we are about ready to order the building. And so we need to know if you anticipate any changes to the structure itself. And that's what we need to know.
Hey, Liz, Joan,
Yes.
the building itself, and this is probably for Whitchurch also, your front structure that's going off that building, is that going to be a tube structure that mimics wood, or is that a wood timber structure that'd be on the front?
You're talking about the front of the building itself?
We're going to frame, the building itself will be framed, the walls. It'll be normal wood construction.
It'll be a steel basic structure.
Well,
See-
I understand the pre-engineered metal building. I understand that. It was just that these front entrances, covered entrance and stuff, and the way it's kind of drawn there, I was wondering, is that going to be a wood structure or is that going to be a metal structure?
Well, for right now, we thought it would have a metal base to it. We may end up putting wood around it, around the actual poles, but it's going to have a metal roof that will match the main roof. And then the actual structure will be basically metal, but it will
We'll box in
we'll
the,
box it in. That's what we're going to do. You can see
Okay.
To be efficient.
I guess this would be for Nicholas. You guys picked a CBC building?
Yeah, I believe it was the CBC building. Pretty
Okay.
standard, same thing that Went had recently done, basically.
Okay, and CBC, I have no problem with CBC buildings. They're a good building. It was just one of those things when I was looking at it, because it was one of those kind of things when you start getting timber frame, then they have to gauge in the building itself to be able to handle timber frame coming into it, because we just as in the side parts, it's that ridge piece going down through it. Now, how far do we go into the building? Does it go to the edge of the building and hang off it, or is this going to be, because this all gets structurally supported inside that metal building, so there gets to be a little catcher. A lot of these things actually have they'll box tube still, and they'll actually make you a gorgeous frame that actually the steel building erector actually erects, and he puts all the trim and everything else on there, and then you can either make it look like wood by painting it, or you could do it that way. The other way is actually they come out with regular framework, and then you got to frame around it to build something around it. It's one of those kind of things. It's something that they definitely need to know when you're ordering that building, if it's going to be wood, because they have to count for it in there, because it's something I'll sure look at, because it's got to be bolted, welded, all kinds of stuff in.
The concept is like the one in Ferndale, the hardware store there. Theirs is framed, and we went over and looked at that. And with a metal construction, essentially a pole barn, which has a interior and wood framework.
You're talking about Nelson's?
Yes.
Okay, that is, if I remember right, that is a CBC building, pre-engineered.
Yes.
Yeah, and I understand the skinning of the building. That isn't what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the structural covering in the front and actually tying it in. They don't have one of those over there like that, but
No, they don't have an entrance like ours with a porch over it. But you're right, that will be all metal.
okay.
And we had talked with Darren Thompson about that and chose to do the metal and then box it in with wood.
Okay, all right. I don't mind talking to Darren about it if you tell him to give me a holler, so that way we're all connected up, so we got it covered for you.
Sounds good.
All right.
I have a question, if I could interject. It's to the Fortuna Senior Center. Can I do that, Chairman Mobley?
Absolutely. Anything you want.
Are you guys currently located at 3000 Newburgh Road, Suite B?
Yes.
And I'm just curious, talk to me a little more about that's the big Gene Lucas Center, correct?
Yes.
And so tell me about your guys' motivations to move.
Well, as soon as we moved in here, I'm Marcia Hayes, I'm president of the Senior Center. As soon as we had our first function in here, we came to the conclusion that it just was not large enough. We're paying for 5,000 square feet, which sounds like a lot, but it's not usable for us. We don't have a kitchen. We don't have access to the kitchen. We have a second floor, which is a definite handicap, and the exercise room is on the second floor, which we have people that come for Tai Chi and some other physical therapy types of exercise. They have to go down to the center of the building in the Gene Lucas Center, take an elevator upstairs, then come back down along the whole inside of our building and then go in the back. So there were things that were just not, didn't end up to be usable. Good intentions, it's a beautiful building. We have nice things here. It just does not suit our purpose. And we only have one classroom, and we have a couple small rooms that are not usable, and great lobbies, but they're just not usable for us. And so we've had this money for a number of years that we've invested, and we figured that it's time we build something that suits us. We're very happy to be here, but not real happy because it's not usable.
But the first function we had, which was a potluck, where we had our membership in general attend, we were so cramped that if we'd have had a fire, we'd never have gotten out.
It was pretty bad.
I mean, it was that bad. The tables had to be put so close to accommodate the crowd. And that was the thing that threw us over the edge.
And not to be facetious, because I'm totally in support, but did we all arrive at that situation by going through a similar process as this one?
Yes. Yeah, we came to the conclusion the last time they were here to talk about what their intentions were to get to this point.
That's great. I'm supportive. And do you guys know of how that old space will be used when you guys exit? Because right now it's only a lease and you'll be free, correct?
Yes, we have a year lease, which we can extend till we're ready to leave. But Dennis Scott had said to me that they have other entities that are looking to rent it. So they don't seem to be, there's no animosity between either group. It's the way it is. It just ended up this way.
Perfect. Can I have a follow-up question that's about the design of the property? I see the easement on here that looks like it goes back to, I was pulling it up on a map website. It goes back to 3865 Ronerville Road, I think. And it says on here easement, it's labeled two different things. Existing easement to Went/right and existing easement to Thompson. How much traffic do we anticipate coming out of that easement rather than on Gullickson?
I don't recall we don't expect a lot. Basically, it allows a second access. So it's the fire department likes to have two access points. So it's a safety feature. The right of way, the road will center on the property line. So each of the two properties side by side will each dedicate, I think it's about 20 feet each, creating one common driveway. And it's really intended for the property in the rear. So that it's a commercially zoned property. So they will need a driveway, right? It's not developed as commercial. But eventually it could be because it's a commercially zoned property that's on the south side. And then, so it'll be shared with the senior center. So really it will allow, having the two driveways will allow, the traffic to kind of be dispersed and not burden either Ronerville Road or Gullickson.
If you had to estimate then, would you say 50-50? 50% of the traffic going out that easement and 50 on Gullickson?
I would say that's fair. I mean, kind of depending on, I think it would be probably, if you're coming from the south, it might be, you're going to be probably using Ronerville Road, or, probably some of the drivers will use Gullickson because it's just a bigger entryway and it might feel a little easier to use. And then coming from the north, people would be using Gullickson, I would think.
So I have kind of some comments on access and that. Okay. One, it's a solid project and it can't get done soon enough, and I support this thing 100%. When I look at the layout, say you have a potluck, you got 100 people in the potluck, that's 2.5 people per car. You got quite a distance between the back and the front. And if people are coming in the front, dropping off, parking in the back, when the thing's coming over, you've either got cars coming and going both ways to pick people up, or you've got people exiting through the kitchen to get out the back. And if that's part of the plan, people exiting through the kitchen is not necessarily optimal, but you probably need to have that access. And so maybe you want to have some kind of clear path for people to exit out the back, get to the car, and get out to Gullickson. Just because the potlucks it's really good food, draws a whole lot of people every time. Does that make sense?
You know, one thing, let me say about people exiting during a potluck. We've had large potlucks at our other site. People don't just jump up and everybody runs out. It's sort of a gradual thing because people visit and pick up their food and somebody talks, and it's just not like you're in the movie and movie's over and the door's open and everybody runs. This is a social thing. And so it probably takes a lot longer than you can imagine for people to leave because they have to go back and pick up their plate and they have to visit. So it's not a gush for the door. Trust me, because we only had one door at the other place and they weren't lined up going out the door. It's just a very casual circumstance. It's not a run out the door because people, they hate to leave their friends. So it's visiting as you're walking out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that, Marcia. I mean, I just, a lot of cars in a relatively small space, unless you can get some of the traffic heading out the back. If you can get people out the back, they go out the back and then take the car out the back, and you have a little less, congestion in parking lots can be a challenge at times. For me, anyway, But it's good. This is a good thing. The sooner you get it done, the better.
Thanks.
Katie,
Seniors do a lot of carpooling also. Multiple.
Katie, do we
seniors.
have anybody on waiting to talk?
We do not. We did get one public comment Liz was going to read into the record.
Okay, can you do that, please?
Yeah, so this is an email from Vincent Peloso dated March 9th. So it was submitted today at 11 o'clock. It says, please ensure that there are sidewalks and bike lanes to the new building site along Ronerville Road from the center of town. Thank you.
And that's obviously being put in.
I got one question to the sidewalks and stuff. On the back of the building, it's off your property line. There's the sidewalk that was built that separates at one time was splitting down the middle of this property. Do you guys have access to that sidewalk?
I've walked that and I haven't seen the sidewalk.
No, it's more of a planting area.
We have around the back of the building allowed a 5-foot walkway that traverses the entire length of the back of the building.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. There is a walkway from other warehouse that came to the front lot. However, we don't have an exit off the back of the building that would join up with that walkway. We
Okay.
put a sidewalk along the back of the building though.
I just remember I didn't know. Liz, did we actually get a sidewalk? Did they actually put a sidewalk against that planter, the backside of that landscaping buffer?
So you're talking about the east property line?
Yeah.
The common property line with the building behind it.
Yep.
To the east. So that shows on the site plan as being on the adjoining property. So
Yeah, because
it's not on this property, and there's not an easement. So they don't have the legal rights to use it. Whether they design it to be able to use it, I mean, that would be nice.
that was the first thing I looked at was anybody coming down Gullickson or from Gullickson is basically going to have to go down the sidewalk of Gullickson around the corner all the way to the front of this building to take the path to travel across into the building. Even with these parked cars in that side of the parking lot, there is a walkway that's going to go around the building where I can see part of it drawn in. We have a transformer that kind of stops and blocks, and that could be moved over into that planter anywhere. But I just kind of look at it going, boy, the sidewalk goes right there. But it's on the neighboring property, which would allow people to park their cars in parking spaces 1 through 7 and step onto the sidewalk. I don't know if that's even something that's it would make it easier for anybody that did happen to park on Gullickson getting in, and anybody in that side of the parking lot to be able to walk around the building.
Yeah, at this point, it would be something they would need to talk to, I think Went
Yep.
Construction still owns that property. And it's something that they would need to talk about and then get designed into this plan.
Because if I remember correctly, there is one there, and that's part of their path of travel to get to their building. They put it in the middle there because remember their entrance kind of came in.
Right.
So put it over there and then it squeezes over. So I think it's already there, but it would be.
It is there.
Yeah, you'd have to talk to the neighbors about getting permission to use their sidewalk.
I mean, it would help when they have overflow parking on Gullickson Drive.
Yep. Anybody walking down Gullickson it would automatically turn right there, take that walkway right to the building.
That utility area that's in the center of the eastern property there, that has direct access to our neighbors in the east. And you're right, there is a walkway there. It goes, you walk, it's left open. There's a raised curb for the rest of the area, but there is a pass through to the eastern property there that has been concreted in that utility.
Yeah. That was where they were going to use it as their drive-through and their future drive-through on their other designs, but it's something I guess you talk to neighbors about.
Put another curb in there. So from we old people, we don't like to negotiate over curbs. But so that would be accessible.
Yep.
We could arrange with our neighbors to use their parking lot on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they won't mind.
So I had a question maybe directed toward Liz or possibly someone there at the city. Do we indeed, in response to that public comment, we have sidewalks and bike access from downtown, or do we not?
Ronerville Road, no, there's not a complete sidewalk from downtown. So the two access roads, directions would be on Ronerville Road from the north or on Redwood Way from the west. And Ronerville Road is definitely deficient in that regard. Oh, there's some narrow, some kind of more narrow strips. And then Redwood Way probably has a little bit more width, but there's a couple of sections. There's one section right as you turn off of Ronerville Road where there are no sidewalks. But I know that that's in the in the vision of the city engineer and the city manager to at least get sidewalks on Redwood Way where there's a little bit more width.
There is also an existing bus stop right there in the center of our property on
Yes,
Ronerville
there
Road.
is.
So the answer to the public comment, that one item is basically we have to wait for a larger amount of public infrastructure into our city, correct?
Yes. There is currently, no safe pedestrian walkway from downtown.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, so I think we kind of partly opened public comment. We technically have to do that, right, Katie?
Yes.
Thought so. Okay, so I'm gonna open up to public comment. Anybody out there that wants to be heard on this subject, please call in. We'd like to hear from anybody and everybody about it. And there it is right there. Katie's flashing it up there. In the meantime, while we're waiting, any the commissioners have anything they want to talk about this? Bring up.
If you want, I can put the elevations back on the screen if you had any comments on the elevations, on the design of the building. Or if you're satisfied with it and don't need to see the elevations presented again.
I think whoever designed it did a great job. It fits so well right into the area. And I'm excited to be able to walk by and admire it.
I'm kind of shocked between the amount of grief we got from the Went project to this project. I'm really shocked we're not hearing from anybody. It's not that I don't like the project. I love the project. It's just, I just remember that project was very controversial at the moment, and this one's just a hair bigger. Katie, we hearing anybody? Seen anything?
No.
Good. Let's move this on. Okay, we're going to close public comment right now, and then we're going to bring it back to the planning commissioners. Everybody, I don't think we need a motion on this. So we just need to come to consensus that I believe that this is a good plan, that anybody want to see anything changed. As far as the building's concerned, the size of it, anything, it looks like this, they want to order this thing before we say no. So, myself, I think it's a good project. It looks like it's going to be very nice when it's all said and done. Looking for your comments though. Come on, Sandy, tell me something.
I'm for the project. I love it.
Okay, Mark,
I'm supportive.
Stephanie,
I love it.
how about you, Larry?
I'm in 100%.
Okay, folks. So we don't have to make a motion tonight. So you're looking for a okay to do what you're doing. It sounds like you got 100% a-okay from us. It looks like it's going to be a great building, and we can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Now all we have to do is spend the money.
There you go. There's the hard part.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight. We really appreciate you guys doing this. It's going to be a big deal for our community, and really appreciate it. Can't wait. I'm getting close to being there. You can see the white and the beard. We're going to be there soon. Come knocking on your door.
Some of us are already there,
They still got a little dark. I'm waiting. I'm almost there. All
And
right.
I wanted to pipe in. We appreciate your guys' time, investment, all the preparation that you put in it, you folks at the senior center. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
We can't wait.
Good job. So Liz, anything going on that we need to talk about tonight? Anything from staff report?
I don't have anything in addition.
Well, you know what that means, guys.
Thank
Quick,
you.
easy night.
Thank you, Joan.
Looking
Thank
for
you.
public comment.
Thank you.
Looking for a motion to close.
So moved.
Second,
Katie?
Roll call vote. Commissioner Blakely,
yes.
Commissioner Church,
Yes.
Commissioner Hallie,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Absolutely.
Vice Chair Rogers,
Yes.
and Commissioner Seitz.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you all. I really appreciate everybody coming tonight.
Good night.
See you for breakfast tomorrow, Mark.